Okay, yes, you read that title right. Even though we have more than a month left in the ski season, unfortunately, I will not be able to participate in it. And the reason why is quite a perplexing story. It's one with much gravitas to it, and yeah, it's good. So, on Thursday, on the 6th, pretty sure, yep, on the 6th of April, 2023, I was with my mother. We went up to Brighton. We're gonna go there and we're hopefully gonna stay till 9 and then return home to sleep and then work Friday. So, when we went up there was already traffic. We were in traffic for about an hour until we could find a parking space, which is very unusual because, night skiing. The best reason we could come up why there was so much traffic up there was the last couple of days of night skiing, which understandable. But this doesn't wrap into that. We were doing our runs, doing our usual thing, and there was a lot of traffic at the lifts, so we were only taking Majestic. It had the shortest line, and we were trying to find the biggest hill to take videos of us going off of the jumps, right? So, we found one right next to Snake Creek. It was a fairly high jump, and if you get off Majestic and hook around, you'll have enough speed to get at least 4 to 5 feet of air off of, which is good. It's a good amount of air, I think. So, we do this. We take turns recording each other to get the best one to post on the YouTubes and the Facebooks and whatnot, what have you. God. So, it was my turn, right? We discussed it. There's too many people. We thought we'll leave 30 to an hour earlier in order to beat the traffic on the way down. So this was the last run, and she nicely gave the last jump to me. So, I was under some pressure to really dedicate to this one. So, let me give you the autonomy of the jump real quick. It's fairly close to where the skiers line up to go on Snake Creek. Thing is, though, is we felt safe doing it because the line more along flows. It's not like we're cutting in between people in the line. It's more like we're right beside them, right? So there isn't really much traffic where we're taking off of, where we're lining ourselves up and going in. It's not like we're cutting in between people. So it's fairly simple. We had about a 20-foot wide, so 20 feet worth of, maneuvering in case anybody is there to get out of the way and continue on. So we felt quite confident in that. We've been doing this for quite a while. Nobody has yelled at us yet, so we were alright. So I sat at the top of the jump. I was on the hill above Snake Creek, waiting until the path cleared. So what that means is there was nobody above me entering into there. I would look down and I would see, people shuffling around, and if it looks clear left, like nobody entering from the left side, people coming around from the right, it would be fine. It would be good to go. Right? That is how I would do it clear. So, when I met all those conditions and I felt pretty safe about it, I jumped up, straightened my board, and then went at it. I'm going full speed, barreling down this pass. And as I'm doing this, off to the left, I see a father and a son come out of the woodwork. And this is what I think has happened, right? There's sort of where I'm going down the natural flow of the mountain, where it's like the hill to go down. And I think maybe somewhere they were further along to the left of me, and they changed their minds and decided to go through the forest and onto, and then back onto the slope. And they're gonna cut across the run in order to get into the line. So he comes out, and I'm thinking, okay, like, this is a quick thought. We're fine. It's just one skier. You have plenty of room. He at most takes up half the space. We can maneuver around that, right? So I'm still dedicated. And then it was at this point that I saw following behind him closely was his father. And they managed to pick just the right speed to where I couldn't really gauge from my distance if I was gonna should I shoot for the front or for the back. But luckily, I think the kid saw me. He slowed down quite a significant amount. So I was good. I had about 10 more feet in there to make this. And of course, me being the guy I am, I really don't want to wipe anybody else on the mountain. I really don't want to be a part of that party. So I try to hook it as far right as I can, away from the kid, and towards the cattle gate. The cattle gates are these straight lines that they put down to separate the lines for the ski lift and to protect the skiers. With good reason. Because as I'm barreling down, I see the kid, so I'm like, okay, I'm going to try to hook right as much as I can. And I know for a fact I had clearance for days from those cattle gates. What I didn't anticipate was the fact that how they sit, there's a little post on the bottom to give them that ground support. Now, I know those were there because I frequently avoided them when I'm getting on the ski lift. It's hard not to notice them. I forgot about them. So I think the front of my board rolled over the front, but because of how it widens and then opens back up, the end of it managed to catch onto it somehow, and I lifted up the cattle gate with me, and the cattle gate also took me up. So I am going down, probably doing like 30 to 40 miles per hour. That's about my max speed right there. That's about as fast as I'll go through that zone because, I gotta make quick moves and can't be skidding into people's legs. So I go over, and all of a sudden, I look down, and I'm kind of sideways at this point, and I see I'm about 6 feet off so where my head is, my head's like about 6 feet off the ground. I'm looking down, and I realize my board is about 3 inches off the ground, and then the thought goes through my head, oh shit. I am off the ground. I have no control over what is going on. And this landing is gonna be harsh, right? That's like quick. Boop, 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 boop. Bad times are coming. Prepare yourself. And I didn't have time to prepare because that's where I sort of don't remember anything. Yeah. So, from this point on, it's from my mom's testimonial and from another mystery man, but we'll get back to him. So, she's down there. She's getting ready to get this mad air. I'm going to lay down. And it's funny. She has a video, and in that video, you can hear the collective gasp of 50 people lined up for that slope go, and then somebody yells, "Is he okay? Somebody should get somebody." And she was like waiting there for 3 to 2 minutes before eventually she figured, hey, something could have gone wrong. What was that gasp? So she goes up, and what she finds is a perplexing sight for sure. She sees that cattle gate swung open towards me. I moved it. I saw it like 5 to 6 feet, and I am sitting there, just fucking dead in the snow, with one of my feet out of my bindings and the other sort of halfway in, and I'm trying to I'm laying down and then I'm trying to move around. So obviously not a good situation she found me in. And the best part is, somebody said, we should help him. Yeah, they all stayed strapped in while I'm there, possibly fucked up beyond, any semblance. So, she then undid herself, her skis, took off her skis, and ran towards me. And she, you know, started work on me. And this lifty was made aware of the situation by one of the nice folk in the line. So I guess they did do something. And he ran over, and he started helping me. Now, they got me, I managed to unstrap myself, and they got me to my feet. And right away, things seemed to not be the case. Why? Well, they looked in my eyes, and when they looked into my eyes, they noticed the fact that they shined a nice little light, and they looked in, and they realized that they didn't dilate like normal eyes. The reason why? Well, they were already dilated as much as they can be. They were little tiny black dots, is what I've been told. And I was not responding well to questions. They would ask me something, and then I would go off completely different. There's 3 questions I kept on asking. Okay? Trying to coordinate that. Whatever. The first one? Did I hit you? The second one? Did you record that? And the third one? Where am I? So, they would be asking me questions, and I would respond with one of those 3. So Lifty would come up and be like, do you happen to know what time of the day it is? And I would look at him, and I would say no. He's like, could you give me a guess? And I would stop, look around, and I say, did I hit you? He said, no, you're trying to tell me the time. And so I would stop, I would look around and say, to be honest, I don't have the faintest idea. And he said, really? You couldn't give me a guess? And my mom, at this point is baffled because it's fucking dark. Like, dark. So, she's like, really? The sun's not out. It should give you a good idea. And I stopped, think for a moment, and said, I came here in the morning, which was not the case. I came there at 4 to 5 o'clock. So, clearly I got my days mixed up or something. I don't understand what the concept of morning and evening was. And I'm just sitting there, with a smile on my face, happy as could be, just asking the same 3 questions. And then trying to give them the best of my ability to answer theirs. I did not know. So, yeah, not good. I'm sitting there just talking with the ski patrol guy, and eventually he's like, okay, hold on a minute. So he goes and he makes a quick phone call, and this is the best part, is that while he's doing this, my mom's like trying to get my snowboard, which is starting to, slide away into the forest. So I took this as my opportunity to be free. So I'd go around and I'd just start asking random people the same 3 questions. I think the nearest ones were the people waiting in line. So I go to them and I say, did I hit you? So I kept on asking them the question, and they said, no, can you please stop talking to me? He said, no, you already said that. And then I was like, oh, I'm sorry for hitting you. And eventually I'm like, did you record that? It's like, no, we weren't recording it. We don't got GoPros. I'm like, okay, where am I? At Snake Creek? And then I'll go off to the next person. Like, repeat that for about 2 minutes to people who are skiing by, and I'll just like stop them. I'll like walk with them, and like apparently impervious to the danger, and I'd be like, "Did I hit you?" And they're like, "No, you almost did though. Did I hit you? Did I hit you? Sorry for hitting you." Like, regardless of whatever they said to me, I would just like follow along that trail. So I'm going around, clearly not in a good state of being. And eventually my mom notices. She rallies me back together and said, Jaden. And I look at her, it's like, did you record that? Did I hit you? And she said, no. I was like, and this is when I started coming back, apparently it was back alive. And I was like, did I hit anybody? Did you see? It's like, no, I was down there. And then I would repeat the question. She'd say the same thing again. Then I repeat the question, and then she'll change her answer. And This went on for about 10 minutes because they had to pull the sled guy from the top of that expressway. So he had quite a ways to get down to me. And yeah, and the ski guy, this lifty bro, he was talking to another guy who came down like 3 minutes after my accident, and he had a dislocated shoulder. And so, obviously he warranted a little bit more attention than me walking around and asking questions and maybe freaking him out a little bit more. But yeah, so he broke his up like an acre above the resort, like above us, and then skied down to get some help, right? Obviously, first time he's ever like dislocated his shoulder, so he's in pretty much not having a good time. And so the lifter was like, "Cool, I gotta go get my radio and I gotta go make a call. Stay here." And then, of course, I look at Lifty and say, "Did I hit you?" And then he fucks off. So I then took this as the opportunity to go up to the guy with the dislocated arm, and I started asking him questions. And I think that happened for like 2 minutes, to where I'm just sitting there, where a guy probably going through like probably the worst pain in his life at that point, and I'm just sitting there bugging the ever living shit out of him. I said I was sorry to him when I met him later down in the trauma room. I found him again, so I talked to him and I said sorry for annoying you. He accepted my apology, but I feel like an asshole still, because I would just sit there and I'd just be like, "Did it hit you? Did it hit you?" Just freaking him out. And eventually, Lifty comes back, and he's like, "Cool, they're on their way. We got 2 sleds." And he's like, "Did you record that?" Just the same fucking thing, over and over. And I kept on trying to escape from them, trying to go in the woods, to be like, "No, no, no, I gotta find this. No, we already got this. Did I hit you? No, you didn't hit me." That whole thing. So I was just being a hassle. I eventually got one of the sleds down to me. And so the ski patrol guy asked the same questions. He asked me where I am. And of course, I was already asking the where I am questions. So I said no. And, which was bad because that wasn't a yes or no question. That was asking where I was. And I said no. So, and then I asked him, "Did I hit you?" And my mom, at this point, she's like losing her shit. He said, "No, you didn't hit him. He's the fucking ski patrol guy. He came down for you." I'm like, so I didn't hit him. He's like, and then I say, "I'm sorry for hitting you. Obviously a little confused here. Like, what's happening?" And so after he's asking me these questions, he's like, "What time of the day it is?" He does that again, and I look up and like, okay, I don't know. So he tries to get me into his little sled thing. Of course I don't comply, because I don't know, I felt like being a dick that day or something. And I'm just like, "Did I hit you?" "No, you gotta get in the sled." Why?" You crashed yourself pretty hard. You knocked yourself out." "I can get down." "No, you can't." I was like, "I can." It's like, "What if you hit your head again?" I'm like, "Well, I can sit on the snowboard and be like a get in the sled, please. Like, your feet go there and your butt goes here." And I'm just like sitting there, standing in it, looking at him. And I guess eventually, like, I go, "Okay," and I sit down. And he asked me a couple more questions. Of course, I fuck up the test. And I was like, "Cool." And so he starts skiing me down. Apparently, he told me to keep my arms by my side. I didn't listen. But before all this is sort of where my actual memory comes into thoughts, not hearsay. This is the first thing I remember after I whacked my head. I don't remember me walking around. I think they're bullshitting me. But he sat there and he asked, "Okay, do you know who I am?" Because he kept on introducing himself, because I kept on asking who he was and where I was. And he introduced himself like 4 times, and I look at him, and then he then is like, I don't know. And I just stared. He's like, and then I saw my mom there, and I was like, and I guess like some part of my brain just connected. It's like, but I know who that is. That's my fucking mom right there. And she's like kind of had this look of, oh god. And I was like, sorry, I usually don't swear, but she is my fucking mom. He then tells me, like, he asked me, what's your favorite color? And of course I say purple. I love the color purple. So I'm happy I got my favorite color right at that moment. It's either purple or magenta, one of those two. I don't know. Hemi orange has been growing on me. But yeah, so I say purple. It's like, good. So he's keeping me down and tells me to keep my arms by my side. I don't listen. I have a weird dream where I'm trying to do lat pull downs at the gym. So of course my arms are up here. And I'm trying to do a lat pull down, but I'm in a sled, so I'm tipping him over, and he has to stop multiple times to correct me. It's like, keep your arms at your side, please. Well, I'm almost flipping him over, and every time he does it, he said, "What's your favorite color?" Purple. Where am I? So, um, I still asking the questions. Go down. Remember faintly, like little snippets of that trip, of me just not doing what I'm supposed to be doing and like flinging myself all over the slope. Oh, my fucking head hurt. Thinking about it hurts my head. But they eventually bring me to the ski patrol base. I met the guy. This is where I remember more or less. They got my blood pressure, and as soon as they put it on, and my little heart rate thinger, right? I'm like, nope, that's the wrong one. Sorry, this one. They put it on, and they're like checking it, and they're like, "Cool, that's not supposed to be like that." I'm like, "Oh, wonderful! I'm exceptional today." I still had a sense of humor. I am very proud of that fact. But they started asking me the same questions. Of course, I'm starting to get a little bit better at not repeating myself, but I still ask where I am and if I hit anybody. They kept on saying, "No, you're at Brighton. Please stop asking those questions. Answer ours." And so they just keep doing their thing. Um, I recognized one of them, surprisingly. He's the same guy who helped me and my sister when she jumped in the creek and I had to jump in after her to yank her out of the creek. December of this season. I recognized him. I said, "I know who you are." And he looked at me. They said, "Yeah, we gotta stop meeting under these circumstances." And I'm like, "What circumstances?" I'm just like, as far as I know, I'm just getting special treatment at the ski patrol lounge. Just, man, these people must really love me. Not realizing that they're just like, damn, this kid's really fucked up. Um, Randomly, whenever they ask me a question, I'll just say shit, fuck, god damn it. Just randomly swear in the middle of my answer. And it was not like normal swearing. It was like just randomly I would just be starting a word like fuck. Sorry, I don't swear usually. And then I would just continue on. So after a couple of concerning, interrogation rounds, they're like, "Cool, we're gonna get you an ambulance, Jaden. You fine with that?" All right. And of course, they asked me like, what is my date of birth? Who I was, where did I live? I answered those questions flawlessly. So that means I'm not too banged up. I handed them. They asked me for my ID. I didn't have my wallet at the time, so I managed to hand them my ski pass, and they thought I was crazy for a bit because they asked for my driver's license. So that got them a little bit more worried. So they're like, "Okay, ambulance is here, Jaden. How about you walk down with my friend here?" It's the same guy who I recognized a couple times. From what Mom said, it's more like I didn't really walk myself. I like was holding onto him, and I was like one step above, just dragging my feet. and home just like wearing me as a backpack. I was just barely picking up my weight going down because if I let go of him, I would have probably fell over or I would have veered off to the left, which I did veer off to the left. I kept on trying to steer him into the snowdrift, just going left, right. And he's like, no, we got to go this way. And the ambulance is at the bottom of this ramp. So I'm stopping every 3 steps or so. You know, just trying to regain myself. And the best part is, I didn't know I was stopping. I thought he was stopping. So he was like, can we go now? I was like, yeah, why'd you stop? He's like, no, you stopped. Okay, whatever. You know, keep on going. And the guys at the ambulance, they're pretty nice. They kept on asking me the same questions. And I gave them right answers, I hope. I'm pretty sure I did. I asked to see what the guy was entering in. And he explained all that. Then I fell sort of asleep. My mom like left 5 minutes after I did, and she beat us to the hospital. So I don't know what that says about the driver, considering that's pretty much one lane traffic all the way. But thank you anyways for helping me because I probably wasn't in the best state of mind. I was a little far from it. But yeah, so they put me in the room. They did the cool little scanning thing. Um, Actually, I haven't did this part yet because I really don't want to. But to get a better picture of it, this is my helmet I was wearing. If I wasn't wearing this, truth be told, I 100% believe that I probably wouldn't be making this video and talking to you. It's pretty gnarly what happened to this helmet, right? So, here's a quick tidbit, right? Smith helmets. They're pretty good helmets. If you ever want a good snowboarding skiing, look at them. They definitely saved my life this time around. This part, right, all sealed to the helmet, and where the sticker is, you know, this is pretty nice looking. But if we go around to the edge and what's that? Huh. I would say that's not optimal. So, ooh, look, nice seam. Oh shit, something's coming undone there. So yeah, I'm not sure if you can exactly see, but they're designed in such a way that they have like latches almost threaded into it. So the fact that this came undone, I've been told, is pretty bad. So, you know, not a good crash. So I probably went in, you know, absolutely ate shit on this side, threw me around. And if you come on the back here, I'm not sure if you can see it. But yeah, you can see the divots there almost. But I have 2 theories as to how that happened, right? I hit the front so hard that the energy kind of ran around and like crushed in the back here. Or I hit the front and then just rolled onto something that dented the back of my helmet. But either way, a lot of this, like right here, a lot of the paint came off. Now these are pretty durable helmets too. And I put this one through the ringer to prove that my head was jostled a bit. This right here, that's supposed to be anchored inside the actual like helmet itself. That came undone on the side where I smacked the shit out of it. And then the back part here, yeah, that's just gone. So I ripped that out. Only one part stayed anchored, which honestly more than I expected. Props to them. It stayed on my head, which was nice. But yeah, I'm gonna turn that off for now. Helmet's gone, so probably just gonna keep it around to, you know, have pretty cool story behind it now. Saved my life, or at least prevented me from eating from a tube for about a month. Kind of want to think about it right now, but yeah, it's a Head down to the hospital. They put my skull into one of those cool little rotating circle things. The doctor came back to us the, within the hour, and he said he looked at my charts, and he said the only concern he has is that it does appear that I have a hairline fracture along the part here, and it just kind of goes a little bit until where the two plates kind of come together. Which, I mean, it's all right. It's fine. It's just that he says because of that, he instead of recommending, he highly recommends I don't do anything too extreme for the next couple of months. The reason why is he's scared that a double impact will happen. Basically, if I hit something else, my skull wouldn't be completely healed up, or my brain would still be suffering the negative consequences. So it would basically be like 10 times worse. Obviously, I kind of want to stay around for a little bit longer. So I'm calling it off this season. Thanks to the doctor and nurses that helped me. Um, very happy, kind of bummed out about the whole entire skull thing, but it's fine. Just added another one to the collection, huh? Instead of just having the one back here, got one up here. In 100 years or so, when somebody comes up and digs out my grave and they look at my skull and be like, "Whoa, he must have done like a lot of warrior shit." And then somebody, when my ancestors were like, "Nah, he was a dumbass." Sit down, let me tell you the stories. This one time he tried to do a quick trick, slid it out, fucking smacked his head against the cavalgate. So, yeah. Very unique skull now. Only belongs to just the one. Uh, they also undressed me, which is in that picture I set at the thumbnail. And they checked to make sure I didn't hit nothing else. Surprisingly, only my head got hit, which they said is pretty bad considering the whole entire force of my body was swinging that right into the cattle post. So, you know, I mean, this is what I said to them. I said, well, at least it wasn't nothing important. Fucking make myself laugh nowadays. They didn't laugh. I did. My mom and my father were in the room. They didn't laugh. I did. Yeah, but no more for the rest of the season, which sucks because it's such good snow. I have about a month more of ride time, but yeah, they said that I should probably not be driving around, which sucks. So I can't even have Jackie help me out. And for those who don't know, Jackie's my car. Named her that because she looks like a jack-o'-lantern. And I'm fucking insane nowadays. But, yeah. Had to cancel work on Friday. Today. Why? Because by the time I was out of the hospital, it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and I've been staring at bright lights for a while since then. And it's still happening, where when I look at a bright light, it's almost like something's trying to go in and squeeze on my skull. It hurts a lot. That's why I'm fine with that night light, sort of. It's kind of on the edge of uncomfortable, and that blue light's pretty nice to look at. So, for the past day, I've just been working on some projects I've been meaning to get to. Talked to my friend. He's pretty much into 3D printing, and I had this guy chilling around. So you're probably gonna see some pretty cool projects coming up on the channel. The first one, right? So now there's some context to this. Hold on, let me go get the. That's for later, bro. Sorry for being gone. So while I was talking to him, he was telling me all about shell thickness and layer heights and what materials, whatever. We started talking it up. He's pretty big into the hobby, and here's the weird thing. He's big into the hobby, but he doesn't have a 3D printer of his own. He just really knows a lot about it, but doesn't actually own one. So that's strange, right? But it's okay. I had this guy for a bit. I mostly printed it off for a specialized part for my car here or there, or just in case I need anything, around the house. I can print it off and get it over with. It's been doing fairly good. It does pretty good prints. As soon as I said, yeah, thank you. I'm gonna go create a CAD file now. He then said, hey, can I ask you for a favor? I said, yeah. He then didn't elaborate, but he sent me a folder of CAD files. And there were folders for a model. Now, here's the weird thing. I'm not calling you out, bud. I didn't say your name. But, yeah, I'm calling you out. I know the model. You put the model's name on the base plate. I have looked up the pictures online. The proportions are off by an interesting amount. So, I hope you get better. I mean, I currently got yeah, I got the lower 60% done for you. I'm just working on the heads and the arms, but if you could just answer me, how long were you modeling this? Because a little bit too much thought is put into this. Then I would be comfortable putting into it. Yeah, bud. Buy your own printer. It's like only $400. I know you can spare that kind of cash. I don't want to do this. But anyway, back to what I'm doing, which is I think is a pretty cool project I got going on, right? So my carry piece, which is my MRD 5.7, that's the Mark III. They made Mark 1, which is the test bed, the experimental, made in the 1980s, and Mark 2, which is the newer one, 2000s to 2020. So, and here is mine, the Mark III MRD, micro red dot. The major differences is a different profile. So they change almost everything about the gun, and same work in internals. It works as MRD2 does almost. They just kind of gave it a new look, and they made a new slide so that you can use the micro red dot, and you can align those things. It's called dual. It's called something. Okay, but I'm gonna put that down for a second. So, a lot of people will create Glock mags, AR-15 mags, AK-47 mags. I've yet to find one that's a 5.7 printable mag. So this is, of course, the 20-round clip. Magazine. Clip. Whatever. I don't care about the gun terminology, really. I ain't gonna be a weird Nazi about it. So, I am going to create a CAD file for this, and I'm going to find out what spring they use, buy like 20 of them, and create 20 of these. And then, so after I get this solved out, which I mean seems fairly simple, I'm going to create this, which is what I usually have in on my concealed, the 30 round magazine. Now here's the problem, is that, so just so you guys know, it's cleared. When you put this in, if you look, there's a mismatch. These 30 rounders were for the Mark II, before they made the whole entire body style difference. So I'm going to create a 30 rounder to print that is also more evenly textured with the rest of this grip. Because if you do that, you can see it will click in, but you can still yank it out. It's a safety issue, I see. I mean, if you really jostle it in there, it's fine, but still, I have grievances with it. So after I fix that, then I'm going to go on to the next step, which is to create a lower receiver for MRD. Um, I have looked up at the gun laws, the federal gun laws. It is legal to make one as long as I don't sell it for mass production. So, yeah. I'm going to try to create one of these. I'm going to try to shorten that barrel down by a bit, because if you have a threaded barrel onto here... Oops. What's wrong with you? Tell me. Oh, that's right. So if you have a threaded barrel onto here, and you thread a suppressor on, it gets caught on that front part. So I'm gonna create one that's shortened by a couple inches, and then also right here, I want to lower that handguard by about, let's see, a quarter to a half inch, so it's easier to sort of bring into action. I don't really like the big loop there. So that's what's happening right now. Is I got it printing one of the prototype magazines. We're gonna see if it works, if it clicks in, if it functions at all. I don't know how I'm gonna keep the spring. I guess I can just like push my finger up the center of it, and hope it feeds around. And if it does, then we're in business. I'll go find a spring for it. If not, clearly I need more experimentation. So after prints that prototype, I will be creating the head for my friend's hobby. And yeah, so that's how I plan on killing time for the next month, is 3D printing stuff. So if any of you guys have a cool idea or weird things you want me to print, yeah, I'm up for it. I got it set up now. It's pretty good. All my previous experience kind of clicked in, which was great. Another thing, I'm gonna create clips for that shotgun. I found these really cool things, right? So what they are is they're like metal, not metal, they're plastic tubes, so you can put rounds in them and then you can slide them in. And I want to create one of those for that shotgun. I got the CAD file, and I think a little bit of tweaking to make it so it can fit in that receiver, and we'll be in business. So that's also going to be something. Yeah, I don't know. Just really bored. My dad came home. He bought a new 440 big block engine, just to have laying around, I guess. And I went outside to help him unload it. And after like 3 minutes, I said, fuck the sun. It hurts my eyes. I'm gonna go into my room with my blinds down and lights turned off and hide underneath the blankets until the headache goes away. I mean, right now the computer screen's at like 5%, so I can barely see the image. Maybe if I squint hard enough, but still hurts. It sucks. The doctor said it's normal. We're working with it. It's gonna suck when I go in Monday. They have the industrial lighting. Oh god, I hope I'm better by then. But yeah. Anyway, this is my life now for foreseeable future. I mean, eventually it's gonna come to this because, snowboarding can only keep me entertained for so long, so I was about to go into the cars and the gun hobby again. But I don't know if I really want to get too deep into it, because my family says I have been a little bit different than before the accident. I don't really know a difference, but that's kind of the weird thing about it, isn't it? That it's the fact that, as far as I'm concerned, this is sort of how I act, but to them, I'm a little estranged. My filter has become less and less, so I don't know, but yeah. So I'm gonna be printing this off, living life, chilling here in a dark room. God, this sucks. Yeah, I say this, and then I realized, hey, Maybe I shouldn't go thumping my head against cattle gates at 30 miles an hour. But I mean, ain't fun. But yeah, we're gonna be down here for a while. Anyway, like I said, I'm feeling better than what I was. So at least there's a process of improvement going along, and it's steadily coming together. Just get headaches every now and then. Pretty sure the helmet saved me. Always wear a helmet, no matter what you're doing. If it's any semblance of danger to your brain, to your little thinker, wear it. I lucked out. It really saved me in the situation. I wouldn't want to imagine what I would be if I didn't wear it. Pretty close. Yeah, I had a lot of close calls this season. I mean, shit, my sister almost drowned on me. I gotta post that story up here. That's a pretty funny one. She blames me, I blame her. But I saved her. So I think that gives me like full authority to hold it over her head. And she wasn't here for when I thumped my head against a cattle gate, so you know she doesn't need to know. No, I'm just rambling. And I was so bored down here that I even started the video to explain where I am. Like a collection of thoughts for my future self. Like, remember the time you hit your head? I wonder how you're feeling. So I can run back to this video, I guess. Oh yeah. So the doctor said I couldn't really drive all that much. Probably still get a drive to work in that stupid Corolla, but I won't risk it with Jackie. So I'm just gonna stop what I'm doing with her, and I'm gonna start tearing apart the top end of that engine, the cylinder heads. I'm gonna put in some Edelbrock Performer, take out the manifold, and I'm gonna put in a high rise, and then I was gonna put in studs and a whole lot of other stuff. I was gonna get a valance for my front, so you can't see my radiator no more. She can't be going topless around the town. I'm frowned very much against that. And maybe actually get my hood scoops painted and put on there. She needs a lot more love than what I've been giving her. I gotta take care of the cars somehow. But yeah, printer's been going on for about 50 minutes without me checking on it. I should probably check on it. Catch you guys later. Hope you guys have a good one. At least better than what I'm having. Just really sucks I gotta cut the season so short. I'm just gonna have a fun time up there. Maybe hit my head against a rock this time. Who knows? Anyway, y'all have a good day. Peace.